Hands in the air. Feelgood Friday. You know what to do. It's Feelgood Friday. Oh. It's Feelgood Friday. Feeling good on a Friday with Cal Munson and Jenni B. I feel better already. Good morning. Hola, bon dia, alegria. Tania and Jenni B in Central Portugal this morning. How are you both?
Very good.
Wow, synchronicity already. Amazing. Are you going to do the whole? Are you going to do the whole show speaking at the same time like that, saying the same things? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's because we share the earphones, so we share the mouth as well. You know?
Amazing. So many people glad to see you here this morning. Andy in Lisbon, bon dia, Carl, Jenni, and TC is here. Jacqueline, CDM, I know is going to love this show this morning. Good morning to you. Across the valley from me on the Silver Coast here. Elra, good morning, everyone. Stephen's here. Bon dia. I know this will be up your alley as well, Stephen. Bon dia, tourists de Amsterdam. From Matthias, help me out here. Lanushny. I think I did that okay there. Wishing everyone my best for a blessed and relaxing weekend. A bon fin de semana, spreading the love far and wide. What goes on here? It's Feelgood Friday, and it's lovely to have TC, Aeelah, and Jenni B. I got that right as well, didn't I? Oh yes. Pride comes before a fall, remember, Carl. But it's going well so far. Tania, a great friend of our family and the show. So lovely to meet you, Tania, in Tomar. I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago when we were first in Portugal. You were so welcoming, so friendly. We were talking about the Lindas language school when I first came to see you. We recorded the podcast. And who knew what would happen after that, that you would be such an amazing friend, inspiration to our family, and all the lovely things that have happened subsequently that we will talk about. But mainly, you're here to talk about your book this morning. And of course, I know that you and Jenni and Mrs. Emma are involved in something very special happening this weekend. So we should talk about that as well. But please tell us about yourself. How is it that you and Jenni are sat next to each other like this? And surprise me this morning.
Surprise. These things, she sort of, how do you call it? She bilocated.
Oh,
so what happens is she's also in her caravan and here at the same time. No, sorry, just making fun.
I'm living in her garden now.
No, so what happens is that my dear friend Jenni B, whom I was introduced to through you and Louisa. So thank you so much. You guys have been such precious friends. So these last 2-3 years with you in my life are outstandingly better than even my life, which already is excellent. So imagine how that can be even better. And it's true. I'm not kidding. I'm saying it is better. Because now with Jenni right beside me, even better. Wow. So what happens is she lives sort of up the street, like about 30 kilometers away. And so since we were going to be on the same show, we said, let's just surprise Carl and everyone and be at the same place. And so she came over. And that's why we're here today together. We've just been for a walk before. So we're very... Whoa.
We had Feelgood Friday modus.
I'm feeling it too. I mean, I'd like to say I'm very relaxed, and I need your help this morning because I went out late last night, and I actually ran home like a small child when I heard wild boar. Seriously, I was out with the dogs, and there was a little bit of a kerfuffle in the valley. And I had my mobile phone torch with me, and it turned suddenly into like a horror movie because I could hear this terrible, like the gruffalo in the valley below me. The dogs were barking, and one dog appeared, and I kind of looked at the dog, and I said, "We should run, right?" We ran away. We ran like I didn't know I could run anymore up the lane with my mobile phone in my hand. So I've been looking up like. I know this, and I have been feeling it. We play that theme tune, and it just, and everyone, the bonhomie and the great feeling, feel good feeling on a Friday here. I'm feeling that, but I'm also a little bit shaken from last night. And I thought, in your company, it's safe to look up what wild boar means, as your power animal or your totem. You know what? The symbolism of the wild boar is that of truth, courage, and confrontation. In some native Indian tribes, wild boar was used as a way to teach young braves how to be honest and find their courage when they told a lie to the tribe. Isn't that amazing? So look at this. I'm being forced to face my own inner deceit and weaknesses. So I think I should go out there later on tonight in a loincloth, maybe. Take it to the next level. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, that could be more frightening for somebody who sees me in the lane. I'm not allowed to. Mrs. M's just stuck her head through the door. That's not going to be happening. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, that's so funny.
To coin a phrase, that is not why you called. Let's start the conversation here because this is wonderful. This is not your first book, we should say, Tania. But this is the book of the moment. Actually, it'd be better if I put it in front of the screen rather than behind it. Here it is.
Well, that's the Portuguese version, and we also have the English one.
It looks beautiful. But so, Songs of the Soul, right? Am I correct in my translation there? Oh, look,
Soul Songs.
Soul Songs. There we go. Soul Songs. TC Aeelah. Tell us about it. What's going on here, and tell us about your other books as well.
So what? And yes, here's another one.
Oh, sorry. No. Whoops. Wrong buttons here. Here's another one. Yeah. Oh yes,
and there's some more, but I don't have them all right here next to me.
Brilliant books, by the way. I can highly recommend them. Really good.
Thank you, Jenny.
I have a whole TC Aeelah library at home.
Yeah, now you do. Each time Jenny comes over, and by the way, I'm in Tomar, so just in case you're wondering, every time she comes over, she takes one more.
True.
Fantastic. And what a great way. I do hope you're giving her the Portuguese version, so she's learning her Portuguese.
She's actually taken Be Love in English and Portuguese. She's taken two versions, but not the soul songs yet. She's only taken that in English.
Yes.
Okay.
I have to confess.
Okay, so this is my very first full book that I wrote, and actually, it isn't, because as a teenager, I used to write short stories, and I did write a full short story book at the time, but accidentally, it went in the rubbish. And at that time, we didn't have hard drives and stuff like that and whatever. And so, unfortunately, it's the flow of life.
Yes, indeed. It's a philosophical way of looking at it.
It's gone forever. Anyway. Whatever, it's inside of me. So I've always loved writing because as a child, I used to enjoy stories, but I also used to enjoy observing the world around me. And that actually got me quite depressed. And at the time, now I'm laughing because I can laugh about it now. But at the time, I used to cry a lot, and it used to feel very painful to be here on Earth and to see everything that was going around me. So I was very interested in people and the way they perceive things, and why. The main question for me as a child was, why is there so much suffering? What's going on in the world? And so I used to observe a lot and question a lot. And as a teenager, I wrote for different publications. I also wrote for school contests and different things. And so writing is basically my passion. Oh. And then I stopped for about 10 years or so in that phase of our life where we are so busy pretending to live that we forget about everything else. You know, pretending to do everything the way that it's supposed to be done, basically. Oh yeah, this is the way it's supposed to be done, and so I have to work and have this timetable that leaves no time for anything else, and I have to show that I'm worthy, and I have to show that I'm meaningful, and I have to be useful, and all of these things. So I spent that time being very useful and busy and rushing around all the time. And all of a sudden, it came to me again, oh, wait a minute, but I really love writing. Why am I not doing that at the moment? And so I started writing again. And as I began to dive inside, that's when it got triggered again. So that's when I remembered, wait a minute, who am I really? And then started this dive of discovery. Now I've concluded it doesn't matter, because I am all and anything, just as you and Jenni and all of us. So basically, it's a nonsensical question. But let's not go there.
I'm very good at those. I've got more of those. Don't worry. So this thing that you remark upon a very important thing there. This it's almost like a phase we have to go through collectively, isn't it? Being important. Jenni, we've talked about it, and anyone who's watched you before on Feelgood Friday knows that kind of phase of your life as well. And it's almost like, is it T.S. Eliot, coming back to where you started as if for the first time. So there's a little bit of a resurrection, rebirth, and really possibly understanding yourself that little bit better. And these are the sort of things we talk about on a Feelgood Friday. So
there you are. So we're right on in line with the theme here.
On the spot.
Absolutely. So, but in a way, you were kind of, you've got it out of your system. You're back into writing, but it's a joy. It's not deep and
now
meaningful.
It's the other way around. So all of my books are deep and meaningful. None. So you won't find any. If you're looking for something sort of just very shallow, no use reading my books. Just read something else. Anyway. How did the Soul Songs come about? The Soul Songs is a product, a result of my journey within, where I started discovering myself, but where then I fell into the breath, and the breath became my only highway to my inner tutor, to my intuition. And so I started through just being present to my breath and diving within and feeling it holding me, to connect with my essence. I call it my essence. So we could say soul, but then there's all of this need to say that the soul is the part that's connected to the human, and then there's the spirit and the higher self. And so let's forget all about that. So I'll call it my essence, which for me is the same as soul, in this context of our conversation. Not getting too technical.
We could have a massive argument about all that stuff, couldn't we? People do. But let's cut to the chase here and go to
exactly. There you are. Just let's go directly to the. So it was about inviting my essence, my primordial isness into my life. So if it's not working from my limited perspective, I want my perspective that is unlimited to be the place where I'm coming to when I come to life, when I come to the people, when I come to the situations, when I come to my feelings. So that's where I want to be perceiving and feeling from. So from that dive and my daily conversations with my essence, so I wrote full diaries with these daily conversations and dwellings and invitations. So I started asking my essence, what is your invitation for today?
Wow.
And then living my day from that perspective, from that invitation. So the day could be a very normal, natural thing as it was before, but when I changed my perspective, as in today, I will give you an example. let me see. So here there's 31 of those invitations. Today it's all about love, for instance. Now I opened it directly on that one. And so here the invitation was, okay, perceive everything that comes your way throughout the day from that perspective of the love you feel within. Because at that time I was already feeling that, which I had never felt before. I fell into that. So before I thought love, and then I realized love. It's two different things.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. So then it's sort of changed. Let me see another one.
Should we pull one of your cards, Tania?
Yeah. That's a good thing. But the cards don't have the invitation stage. So this discerning wisdom, clarity, see all things through my eyes. So this is divine within me, inviting me to see all things through the eyes of divinity within me. And so, of course, if now imagine, for example, I used to be an English teacher at the time, so I'm going to teach a few classes, going shopping, going here and there, but doing that from that perspective. What is it like? So basically, it's sharing of 31, because 31 is the maximum numbers of our Gregorian calendar of each month.
Yeah.
So that's just why it's 31. And the idea is for the reader to then invite their own essence and feel, okay, what is the invitation for today for me? And so that's basically what I share, how through the breath, it is so simple because we breathe 24/7, but we normally ventilate until we realize that the breath is much more than ventilation. And so basically the breath becomes conscious. So I call it conscious breath. So through becoming consciously aware of being a living creature here on earth who breathes essence into life, it all changes everything. So here I share that this is all about coming into one, basically, gradually, step by step, and with no expectations, no agenda, just letting it happen gently. That's the whole thing. And then I've got the cards.
Oh, look at this. The lovely assistant is showing the cards. So how do the cards work? We're not playing poker.
They're in the book, so it's the soul songs themselves. And Jenny will pick one.
I will pick one for us today.
The show card of the day is, here we go.
This one.
Okay, we've got the jingle for it. Oh, and what is it? Oh, hold on, let me just zoom in on you there. I can't, sorry. Glasses are so expensive in Portugal, I can't read it.
Okay, I'm going to read it. Right, I'm going to read it. If you knew you are an angel, and this is how they all start, but I love it. If you knew you are an angel, would you flow and glow, or would you deny the show?
Oh, yes. Very good.
It's actually in tune with the boar thing, isn't it?
Oh.
It's in tune with the boar thing you were talking about earlier on.
Absolutely. No, things tend to connect up on a Feelgood
And
Friday.
if you knew you are an angel, is the way all of the soul songs. So the soul songs are these little sort of poems which are reminders of, okay, where you're going to be in this world of duality. You can choose where you're going to be in your consciousness.
That's the key. You can choose. And actually, this is what happens on a Friday as well. We're not going to just tolerate people going, oh, yes, that's very interesting. Thank you. No. It's more than, that's interesting. I might buy that book. Put it in. Let's give it a go today, right? Let's give it a go today. So that card for today, this is if you have, basically, as I understand it, like if you knew what you really were and lived from that place, what would life be like? And we can do that, right? We can do that on any day, all of the 31 days, if there's 31 days in a month. Like you say, there's the dualistic, there's the running around, pretending to be your identity, your personality, blah, blah, blah. And that's understandable and forgivable in this world. That's what we're brought up to do. But then there's this whole other, if it's 80-20, this is the 80% we're talking about, possibly, of our increased potential, of our divinity, of whatever that greatness is that we all have a sense of, right, from time to time. And when we're crying as the teenager you mentioned, I think it's when we know that's the case, but we can't put our finger on it, right? This is what we put kids through, isn't it? They know how magnificent they are, but we don't really give them the to do it. So no wonder they get depressed and unhappy. So here's a tool for you. And you know, we talk about the inner child, the inner teenager, don't we? Sometimes, Jenny. This is a day to put it into practice, right? So thank you, Tania, for being here and encouraging people to actually put that into practice. This is not a rationalized, thought-based thing. This is a feeling, being thing, isn't it, that we're talking about today?
Yeah.
And you know, I can already imagine, because from hearing it sounds so easy, doesn't it? You just connect with yourself and then you just listen to it and it's all good. But I think we've all been there, that like, okay, from all these voices I get during the day, which is the one? Huh?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, and I remember, so I think Moji was it who said it's the one that speaks, the truth doesn't speak out of fear. That's a really good one.
That's a good one.
I really like that one. And what Tania was saying with her breath, she said it yesterday in one of her beautiful breathing sessions, that the clarity that lies within the silence. And I think Eckhart Tolle is as well one of the people who says silence is one of the gateways through your inner self. Yeah. Or through your essence, or whichever way you want to call it. But the thing is, if you think about it, even from a logical approach, how can you actually listen to your own inner deep voice when you're distracting yourself all the time, when the music is on all the time, when you're out and about, and even when your eyes are open, because you constantly, and that's just a normal human thing, you constantly get impulses in and stimuli which will want to be processed from your brain. So closing your eyes, going into deep breath and really arrive in the present moment. And then what I like to do, particularly at the beginning when you're not really sure, what I advise people is just make yourself a nice comfortable space, put an incense there, put a candle there, a bit of nice essential oils you like. Just take a piece of paper and a pencil and write down, my dear soul, what would you like to tell me?
My goodness.
I would add one thing there, which I learned from Norma Delaney, who taught me actually the breath, and which is adding to what you're saying. So first, so she introduced this, and it works very well because the mind makes a lot of noise. So first write mind and let it say whatever, like just let it pour out. And then go into that deeper, and then soul.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh boy, it's so fantastic because you notice the difference in language, in length.
Yeah, I believe.
In everything. And most of the time, many times, soul will say nothing. And will just bring in if it's too much questioning, I mean, like imagine you going around with questions in your mind and you want answers for this, that, and the other. And then the mind will have all of these answers about this and why this can be and that can't be and that so on. And then you come to soul and you try and listen for an answer, and it's like, oh, bloody well, where is it? I must be doing something wrong. But it's not. It's just silence.
Exactly. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
We've got a bit of a news flash here. This is a little bit of a distraction. I mean, she is my distraction in life, let's face it. But Mrs. M is here as well now. Can you hear us?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. She should be looking after the children.
There's my side.
I love the setup in the child's room, actually. I love it.
We've got a brief moment. The Wendy house is perched on the dining table. That looks really dangerous. And I'm sure that's not allowed by EU health and safety regulations. But we like to teach our kids, a little bit of a risk every now and then. But you three are involved in an amazing event this weekend, just in case Mrs. M has to rush off. Mrs. M, welcome. Welcome to my work. That's not the first time I've said that. Tell us about this event that's happening, and then when you probably inevitably have to rush off, Tania and Jenny can tell us more about that. But what's going on this Sunday?
Well, the three ladies, by the way, you two look really chilled and relaxed and absolutely sumptuous there at Tania's gaff. You look so cool. we plus another 33 people are all doing presentations about higher self issues. It's called the Higher Self, and we've all got little presentations to do about our specialist subjects. So it's really, really exciting. It's a 24-hour event. I think it's the first time a Higher Self Expo has ever happened, you know, like for a continuous day. It's starting off in America, and Tania can fill in any gaps if I get anything wrong, because she's our lovely host for Europe. But yeah, there's 8 hours worth broadcasting from the States and that continent, and then it goes over to Australia, where another bunch of really incredible people talking about their specialist subjects, and then it comes over to Europe, and then the 3 of us plus all our other lovely European buddies are going to share some stuff about what we know and what we're interested in. It's the theme for it is where science meets spirituality. So it's pretty awesome, because I think the overlap of that is huge at the moment.
Yes, indeed. And more so by the day, you could say, couldn't you? And there's a few skeptics might want to tune in. And yeah, Pash, show me the evidence. I don't know how much showing of evidence there's going to be, but what a great place to start. Science and spirituality coming together.
Yeah, where science meets spirituality is the theme.
Yeah.
Amazing. Fantastic.
So we're all looking at our... Sorry, I look really like I've got dark hair here. It's just I've come out the shower and and there's no really good lighting. I look like a brunette here. It's very
fabulous. Fabulous. And I'm glad that
always glamorous.
Yes.
As people know you, Miss them. Did you want to talk about damp Portuguese houses or anything like that while you're here?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I have to say, I'm kind of resistant about my reputation that you're creating for me. I merely went onto that show to try and help people settle in Portugal more easily. Because, you know, if you think it's all going to be like sweetness and light and roses and stuff, you know, you're gonna come unstuck and get disillusioned. So I kind of want to go like this. And no, I can't, because it's live on YouTube. But I want to kind of stick my fingers up at you, Carl, for implying that I'm the Grinch of this partnership.
Oh dear, we need help, Tania and Jenni. Let's change the subject.
We need some couples counselling. No, but seriously, like if someone comes out and they're expecting to be hot all year round, you know, and dry all year round, if they're coming from like a damp old UK and they're expecting their first Christmas to be like really, really dry, then I think that's, that's kind of false advertising. Every country has its little nuances, and that's all I was trying to do.
It's fair enough.
I still think that my show was watched more than yours. Maybe that's where the sour grapes have come from.
In-house competition.
That's where the truth of it lies.
Shall we go, Tania? Shall we just leave?
Let's just go away.
No.
Okay. So Claire will be watching the Higher Self Expo. What time are you? All of you?
Claire.
What are your different times?
My show's at 3. What time are you guys on?
I'm at 12:05, and Jenny's right after me.
Yeah,
so we're in
Yeah.
sequence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
and
awesome.
another question coming in. Khadija up in the north of Portugal, Alto Minho. Sounds very interesting. Where can we find the said broadcast?
Wow.
So,
a good question. Glad you asked.
HigherSelfExpo.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cole's got a little trailer for it to play at the end.
I'll play that on
In fact, I'll
end.
just pop it into the comments now.
That's great. Thank you, Louisa.
Okay, and Jim will be watching the expo over
Cool,
there in
Jim.
US. This is fantastic.
Hey, Jim.
This is all you spoke was the truth. Never mind the reputation. All right. Everybody. I see. Yeah, we go. HigherSelfExpo.com. That's where you can find everything out about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I should probably leave you to it, because I don't want to completely, our maritals to kind of take over the show.
It's nice that little ripple and ruffle. I'm very thirsty, I have to say, though. But if you
really, after you brown trouser moment last night with the wild boar.
I'm angry for a cup of coffee, public.
Oh, okay. Right,
I think that's a hint, Louisa. I think that's a hint. Yeah.
Okay,
we can't ask for one of those, but it's okay.
No, not this time. But we will do a broadcast all together for sure. Lots of love.
I'm in so much trouble.
Love.
You're never in trouble. I love you.
Cool, love you too. Bye for now. There she goes. All right. I think that went okay. Right.
I think
right.
so too.
We've got lots of lovely greetings from people, loincloth references and all sorts here this morning. And actually, we need the power of the collective heart and mind here. Oh, Jim White, sorry, I missed this earlier on. Bon dia, Jenny, TC, and Carl. But Phil, who was when he was on the show, was talking about the law of attraction and how he uses that. Part of the general conversation here. Hola, bon dia, alegria. Can you all please visualize somebody at Eurotunnel answering the phone? So I don't know. We can't. I'm not sure we can make specific things like that happen. But remember, peace begins with me. While you're sat there, to the telephone to be answered, Phil.
You're such a great student, Carl.
Thank you. We wish you all the best. It's embedded. I have embodied it. Bon dia todos from Mark Stoll. Oh, we think we know this fella. Señoras encantadoras. And Carl, of course. There you go. What a beautiful turn of phrase. Thank you, Owen, the creator of the wonderful jingle that you will hear again today. Bon dia, Carl. Bon dia, Jenny and co. From Will, who also says, who's afraid of a little wild boar then? All right, wild man. It was dark. I mean, come on. Good luck for this weekend from Phil, who tuned into the Higher Self Expo there. Morning, Tarzan. I think that's for me, right? You did indeed okay, Carl, with pronunciation of Matthias's name there. I've heard a lot worse with letters added to my name that are not there, like K's or leaving out letters. But Matthias or Matthew, the English version is fine for future reference. Fantastic. Bon dia from a hot and sunny Povoa de Varzim. It has suddenly become hot and summery in Portugal, hasn't it? Bon dia, alegria todas from our friend Johnny, who's now in Portugal as well. Wonderful. Bon dia, beautiful people. Feeling the love this morning. It's true, isn't it? And don't think this does refer to me. Good morning. Look at this, Gary Austin. You ran from the boar. You ran from the truth. OMG. Okay, I'm going back tonight to face it. We'll pay you not to do that, Carl. I think that's to wear a loincloth. I'm not sure smuggling budgies is legal. Yeah, okay. Jacqueline, the phase hit. This is when you were talking about this 10-year phase, I think. That phase hits us at different stages in life. I'm always amazed how so many young ones experience that phase so early. Do you think that's happening now, that younger people are, they might be in this similar situation that you were talking about there? What is it all about? These oldies don't seem very happy with this lifestyle they're promoting to, go to work and fill your mind with information, get a great job and get a great house, get a great car and start a family. You'll be really happy. And it's like, okay, this doesn't, it didn't seem to work so well for you, oldies, but, for sometimes, that's a fair comment. But is this happening? Is this realization happening for people more earlier on in life, do you think?
I think, yeah.
Please go on, and I'll tell about my daughter.
21. Yeah, I think not being a mama, but I think I clearly see this with so many young people. Claire has one of them, beautiful, young, really bright, making the future look a lot brighter kids, which I just recently got to know, and I was absolutely stunned. But what I see a lot is actually the conflict between the parents and the kids right now, because exactly what you're saying. You might have lived this model of a 9-to-5 job, being really dissatisfied, going through your life, shoveling all that money and still not being happy with the BMW in your driveway. Then you obviously, that is what you teach your children, that this is what life should be about. Then the children go exactly like you say, Carl. I'm not quite sure if I look at you, if I want to do that. And then the big conflict starts, because they do go and start going different ways, which are insecure. And as a parent, you only want the best and the most, you want your kids safe. And then you can go like, finally, that's me, done with the parenthood. So I think what happens a lot in the moment is that the kids really want to try themselves out in a just shorter distance period, like where we've been working in shitty corporative jobs for like 20 years. Actually, 10 of them are already very dissatisfied and never dared to go this step. I see and feel that they are braver in the sense of that they're more likely going to do the step and do something different rather than forcing themselves in something that's not aligned with them. And I think that's really beautiful also that they have this opportunity at the moment. But it does create a lot of conflict between kids and parents. But I don't know how you see it with your daughter.
So what I see is there's all kinds. So for instance, with my daughter, it's very interesting because I'm sort of off the charts kind of mom. And for at least 15 years, she's known me as very strange and different. And she actually makes an effort to be normal. So it's the other way around. I invite my daughter many times to approach life with a more easygoing, open-sided kind of view. She's been going through that exact fear of, oh my God, now I've finished my degree. She insisted on doing a degree. I insisted, don't do it later. So you can see it's the other way around. So she insisted only in 12th grade because she never wanted to have a degree before that. But then 12th grade, everyone was going to university and she decided I have to do the same as they're doing. And that's it. And that's fine. It was good for her. And she evolved in that and became much more responsible and all of that. Long story short, now is the time where she's faced with, oh, now I have to be an adult. How do I go about that? Because then she's got two very, very different paradigms, which is the people she interacts with normally, which is me before and me now. And so basically she's in a bit of a conundrum as to how can I trust life? And I keep on telling her, there's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to be afraid of. Just go ahead, make your clear choices, and be sure that life will serve you generously. Now, if you're going to be afraid, and if you're going into this and thinking, oh my God, it's going to be hard to be an adult, then
Thank you.
Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, look at that. You are one lucky man, Carl.
You're right. Guilty as charged there. But sorry. I mean, that's amazing. That is incredible. So you were gonna add a little bit more there, I think.
I was just gonna end. So she's actually she's been terrified for the past few months that adulthood is knocking on the door. But not because she's not got other examples. And so I've just would like to share that it's different for everyone, and each teenager or each young one has a different approach, and also depending where they are coming from within and what they have to experience. I'm very aware that my daughter has her experiences to live. And it doesn't matter where my consciousness is at. It matters what she is here to live, whatever it is, be it one way or another. It's just fine. So the only thing I let her know is that it's okay. It's no big deal. And even if you commit loads of blunders, things will ease out sooner or later, because that's just the way it is. Everything passes and you evolve. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's amazing. And this does, we do have to take care of ourselves financially, don't we? That we live in a world of money currently, and we do have to do the things of the world, don't we? And maybe be in the world, but not of the world, as is said, so that you do have to take care of that bit. But what I love about you is you're also giving the other part of it, which is, to connect within. And that perhaps is culturally what we're not teaching young people. We're saying, do this. And they know that doesn't kind of add up. And if we are possibly more honest about that, it's like, it's a load of old rubbish, but you got to do it. That would be a bit more honest, wouldn't it? It'd be a load of, all this paper, whether they're certificates or whether they're money. It's just a game. Enjoy the game. But the really important stuff, I think, is the things that you're teaching, that you're talking about.
And Jenni, I teach my 13-year-old too. He's got time to choose that. And I tell him all the time, I know school is and now he's homeschooling actually. But there's these things that you go through and you learn, but just keep in mind that whatever really, really fills your heart is where the money is going to come from, and it's going to be okay. And it's not about 9-to-5 job and the normal things, but that's easier at his age for him to now realize it can become a different thing than my daughter, where she's at the moment. So we never know what they're going to choose at the end of the day, just as long as we keep these open doorways saying, you know, it doesn't have to be that way. There are many different possibilities.
Yeah. And also, like you said, important that they take away the fear, because that's for in any age group throughout your life, that's the stuff that hinders you from growing into your essence, from listening to it, from following your heart and doing the things that will having the experiences that you were meant to have. And really, like you said, once you find this essence, it will nourish you as well.
It will bring you the money and everything else.
Yeah.
Really.
Very fascinating. And we live in a world of fear at the moment, aren't we? I mean, that's fair to say. And when you were talking about, you know, the breath, it's so basic, it's so essential. Isn't it interesting that the great fear of the world at the moment is all around a respiratory disease?
It is so relevant.
Yes.
Yeah, like people are afraid to breathe. They're afraid to breathe for themselves, or they think they're going to be starved of their breath. They're afraid to breathe near each other. Everyone's wearing masks, and we understand all of that in a certain sort of context. But there's no accident there, is there? This might be an interesting sort of cosmic reminder of what might be truly important. Learning about community, learning about breathing, you know, learning about freedom, learning about trust, learning about overcoming fear, which is what you're talking about this morning.
We could actually do 1 minute of coming into the breath, and for everyone to see the difference.
Yeah.
One minute is enough.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's have that minute now. Please make sure you're not flying an airplane at the moment, or anything like that. Okay, or you're a heavy engineer, whatever that is. Please do not be doing that right now. So if it's safe to do so, and what could be safer than going into the breath? Let's do that now under your excellent leadership.
Actually, it's just before. It is coming into our safe space. That's how I coin it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting that you're saying that, because that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you guys would like to accept the invitation to close your eyes, please do. If you don't, you don't have to, but it's an invitation. And I invite you to just take a deep breath through your nose, very softly, no effort, just gentle and deep. And notice when you take that deep breath through your nose, inhaling through the nose, and then whenever it's your time, exhaling through the nose. Notice if your diaphragm is contracted in between both sections of your body. Just let it go so that you can inhale deep down into your belly. And let the belly dance with each breath. And so as you bring your focus just to the breath, nothing else, no moment before, not what's coming next, just the breath now. Just stay in it. Your thoughts can still be happening, but you just leave them on the surface of your attention. Your full attention and focus is on the breath. And that's about a minute, so I'll keep my promise.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Tania.
you. Thank you.
I could hear your voice. I could hear the birds singing. I could hear my own heartbeat for a moment. Well, how a different perspective that is. Nice to know that my heart is still beating, and the breath is there, and we take it for granted, don't we?
Yeah.
And like you said, Carl, you know, with the breath, like you said, it's so easy, and I think that's what sometimes turns people off it. That it's too easy. But I mean, with this 1 minute, you didn't lost anything if you tried and it even wouldn't work for you. But I don't know nobody who is open enough to do it and does not feel a difference afterwards.
Yeah.
And so whatever we have in struggles, if it's a wild boar, if it's your wife not bringing you the coffee or whatever it is, peace begins with you. If you take this moment to go into the breath, even if you're triggered or whatever, that just brings this clarity. What Tania was speaking about, in this safe place, the voice intake suddenly reduces to a really low number, and then that one actually that comes with that really, really clear statement of whatever it is on the chart for you. So breathing is the tool. And even though so many people who did lots of spiritual practices, whatever, if I draw a bottom line underneath, what the average response is, what it helped them the most is the breath.
Yeah. It's so basic.
It's the simplicity. Yeah. I find it has brought into my life such a level of simplicity and keeps on bringing it. Because whenever something seems complex, let's just cut it down into the breath, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's a truth, isn't it? It's a reality. You're breathing or you're not. And with, God willing, you are breathing. And you can tune into that, and you can be away from the world of ideas and where all the arguments of human beings are, right? People argue,
and the fear, the survival.
Yeah, this is the way to do it. That's the way to do it. But you come into the truth of the breath. Amazing.
If you think about it, no, all good. If you think about it, that's again one thing I think is completely wrongly perceived in our society. Because if you think about how we get taught to breath, particularly as a girl, it's like always, breast out, belly in, don't use your belly. But if you think about how babies breathe when they're really relaxed, it's the belly going up and down, up and down. So, and you can see this not just when you watch kids, but also if you are a bit more aware of yourself. When you go into relaxation, you breathe much more in your belly. And usually in our all day, everyday lives, where we are just so bombarded by stimuli, we breathe really shallow. Yes. Not to let it get too deep into us. But if you want to go into the deep feeling, which also means to process stuff and release stuff, then you go into the depth of it. And that's it's like we've just all experienced, hopefully whoever joined us there. 1 minute can make such a big difference. And particularly, in this really rushing society where we're always like, okay, it's all full, my diary, oh my God, my agenda is like boop, 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 one thing after another. We always have a minute. And look what the change is there. So you're going to be much more productive by actually taking this break. And not meaning by then taking the phone, going like, yeah, okay. That's not a break, because you're still stimulated. There's still impulses entering your being. So even just closing your eyes, putting your feet on the ground, whatever, just take this little, if you think about that, it's a bit like your brain in that case is stimulated like a poke. It goes like this all the time.
Yeah.
Me. And but if you don't give it a break, it will start bleeding, because it goes constantly like a woodpecker. So just to give that a break and restart, it's like a reset. It's like diving in the ice cold water. And then you're like, here I am. Okay, that's on. So it's all
much nicer than the old Vim.
Much nicer.
Feet on the ground.
Well, I've got a short story around that cold water thing.
Go for it.
Yeah, before Wim Hof craze started, I went for a few days to a place called Islas Cies, which is right near Vigo, because I'd seen some pictures, and I'd wanted to go there. So I went to spend 5 days there, or 3 or whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, when I arrived, there's this beautiful turquoise water, like just pristine and clear. And I'm wondering, why isn't anyone in the water? And then, so we got off the boat and then when we got on the beach, I realized the reason was that the water was ice cold. But I was so in love with this water that I said to myself, oh, I don't care. So I just kept walking into it and feeling all of the sensations in my body as it heated up like crazy. Like then it becomes like a furnace, and a sort of a discomfort in the back of my head, and all of these feelings and sensations in my body. And instead of being afraid of these sensations or somehow avoiding them, I kept on embracing these different sensations the body was going through within this icy cold water. And just, of course, breathing, as I always, my breath is conscious all the time. So that's not even a point. It becomes a way of life. It's a constant isness, like a practice, not a practice anymore. Anyway, so I was breathing that in and feeling these different fantastic sensations in my body, such aliveness in all my cells, everything. And then I just kept on swimming in the water and wanting to go back in. And from then on, which was over 2 years ago, I've been in love with cold water, and I take cold showers all the time. And I've been bathing in the lake nearby. So here where I live, it's like 10, 12 kilometers to the lake. And so I went all the way through to mid-January when it was freezing cold. And then I decided to make a 2-week break.
And today's the first time we go again, actually.
Nah, go there all the time, really. But, it's sort of like, I realized there's all of these belief systems that we carry ingrained in us, like, oh, you might go into hypothermia. Oh, the body might shut down. Oh, there might. And I just smiled at these beliefs when they came, and smiled at them and said, no, don't worry, you're safe. It's fine. And kept on embracing the experience. And oh my God, it's such it's a rejuvenation process, actually. And you don't have to just breathe like crazy before going into the water or anything. I mean, you don't need to shut down anything in your brain in order to sustain the cold. It's just a question of acceptance. With everything else in physical life, it's all a question of acceptance and embracing. If you go with the gentleness of, oh, wow, what an experience, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah, makes so much sense, Tania. That's why you're here this morning. Thank you so much. And we need to go and see what everyone is saying about their little experience of breathing there. Bon dia todos from Melissa. We're just catching up a little bit here. Fantastic. Joel's here. I want to know that you did it, Joel. And talk of budgie smugglers and socks and sandals. Everything is here. You are so right about connectivity. Since I've been here, I've made more internal connections than a BT telephone exchange. I think
that one.
Well, Gary's referring to possibly the whole sort of spiritual matrix of Portugal. We must get you back to
Gary's on it, really. Yeah.
There's a spiritual significance for Portugal, I think, for those attuned like that. We must come back and talk about that again. Fiercely opposed to the horrors of the illegal animal trade, the worst inhumane behavior. Thank you, Andy, for that. I will be watching Higher Self Expo. So we've
done that one.
Yeah, we did. Need your positive vibes, peeps. Thank you, Tania. 50 minutes on hold now, going for the record of 1 hour. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Well done, Phil. Keep going. You guys fill my heart. I love you guys from Mrs. M.
We love you too.
Hold on a minute. We're getting the feedback here. I'm just going to get to the right place here. We're getting the feedback on the breathing. But there's still people still here talking about blimmin' socks and sandals for some reason. Crocs and socks. Kids will rebel against anything. Be normal, they will be weird. Be weird, they'll be normal. That's so true. It's something they've got to do. Debbie Burton's here. Good morning, lovely people. I know you're a bit of a Reiki master, aren't you, Debbie? I think. Jerry Lawler, good morning. Jerry's here as well. Let's see if Jerry did the breathing. I have a day by a waterfall gorge, river, beach, each swimming lessons for Che and peacetime for me. No news is definitely good news today, given what's going on out there. Well done, Will.
Enjoy this, Will. Really.
Thank you all. It worked. Less than an hour. Oh, it worked for Phil. At your service, Phil. Don't mention it. Sweet. The breath, I think, there. Perfect. Sounds like a perfect day, Will. I can't see what Jerry's comment is. Oh, yes, I do see what that is now. To do this, says Jim, do this mentality can be addictive too, hard to resist. Yeah, because your body knows that it loves it, right? It's a natural state to be in. So after a while, I guess it would crave it. Money seems to dominate. We're conditioned to work, achieve the dream. But when I got there, I realized it was hollow and devoid of happiness. But you've got to go through it to see that, haven't you? So to reevaluate everything, I thought I knew. Amazing.
Yeah.
Ian's here. Hola, todos, just catching up. There's an Aussie swimwear brand called Budgie Smugglers. Will you rest about Budgie Smugglers? Still have a lot of work to do here to organize everything a bit. And still tired of the internal journey, car breakdown, but I certainly don't want to miss these lovely ladies on Higher Self Show. Absolutely right. A great weekend ahead.
Yeah.
Sadly, no profit in trying to help save nature and our place in it. Maybe why I am skint. Well, it could turn around at any moment for you there, my friend. Patanjali advised, don't die with your music still in you. Good advice. Coming thick and fast this morning. Mother Nature will always win. She birthed us and she can end us just as easily. Well, there's a cheery thought. This focused breathing is one of my favorite parts of yoga when I practice it. Thanks, Khadija. What a beautiful minute, says Owen.
Thank you.
Will, what you know makes you so much richer than most of us, mate. There you go. That's lovely. The first breath is at your birth, and the last breath is at your passing. It's so beautiful to worship the breath. Absolutely. Well done, Jacqueline. Yeah. Cheers, Phil, and Port English. Kind comments fill the hearts. Absolutely. Me too. Responding to Louisa. Good vibes here this morning. What I did you do that breathing, Joel? You can't just be watching and thinking about it. Please, man. The belly was dancing. Confirmation coming in. Thank you for the reminders of Just Breathe from Ron. Fantastic. I can confirm that I am breathing. 3 minutes to go, and I've got to play the Higher Self Expo trailer. Please send us on our way, Tania and Jenny, with a little bit of nothing too heavy, but something light and special for the weekend, for the bon fin de semana. Each of you, if you will. It's been such a pleasure to have you here. Tania, would you go first? We know what you're going to say, don't we?
Probably you do. Enjoy the simplicity of each moment. That's where you'll find the happiness. That's it.
Thank you very much, Tania. Thank you for being here. How do people buy your book, by the way?
Oh, they just go to my website, inpassioncoaching.com, and eventually they can send me a message there, or to info@inpassioncoaching.com. And then I can send them the book by post, or even hand it to them if they're over here in Tomar. I can send it anywhere in the world. And I'm only doing it by post because it's a full color book. So it's not available on Amazon unless in Amazon it is the ebook. So if you want to have the ebook version, that's fine. You can get it there. Okay. So contact me, inpassioncoaching.com, and I will be happy to send you even a signed copy if you'd like.
Oh, yes.
Get it autographed. Yes.
Jenni B, what are your words of wisdom to see everybody off into a beautiful sunny weekend here?
I would say, in case of doubt, ask yourself if you'd had the power of the universe, or like Tania says it on her cards, if you were an angel, would you glow or would you deny the show?
Oh, yes. Don't deny the show, folks, this week. I don't mean this show. I mean your show, your life.
Exactly.
I mean, don't deny this show either, but the whole, just feel your way into. I mean, what better start to the weekend could we have? Just
we've got Karen. Karen Swain from Australia is also a co-host for the Australian leg of the Higher Self Expo.
Hi, Karen.
I'm going to finish with that. It's a little trailer in just a moment. Off to continue to cultivate much love in the world. Well done, Gary. We know you do that, mate.
He does, yeah.
Even in Star Wars, breathe. Just breathe. Reach out. What do you feel? Quote from Star Wars, Carl. Go watch it sometime. Tania, Jenny, love you. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Let's finish with that. Wonderful.
Thanks, everyone.
Ciao, ciao. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about the Higher Self Expo July 2021. It's a 24-hour event with 33 guest speakers who are sharing their wisdom and exploring the connection between science and spirituality. Today's guest is a guest speaker at this event. To register your place and find out more, go to www.higherselfexpo.com.
It's Feelgood Friday. It's Feelgood Friday. Feeling Good on Friday with Cal Munson and Jenni B.